Hello. The sun is hot. The desert is hot. The sun and the desert are hot. We embark with 5 natural colonists. Their leader is Jeek Gargles, the kind jogger. Let the embarkment begin. Alone and overheated, we embark upon a new Rimworld adventure to survive the desert heat and civilize the uncouth, savage wildlife inhabiting the land's local fauna struggles to eke out its barren existence. Immediately we'll make a move to plant a large patch of rice. Senra Toabe is our planter. An excellent planter, I might add. That's great, Senra. Do that. Everybody likes it when you plant. Our grandmother is Sparageist, the old fighting woman. Ibrahim, our doctor. Cayman, our crafter. And Jeek Gargles, the leader of the expedition. To survive the first night, we'll be forced to sleep on the ground, but it'll be enough that we can have wood doors and passive coolers in our lives for these first weeks. Jeek, Cayman, and Ibrahim make moves to clean up the new home. We claim the structure, and that is to us a new dining room and barracks. Praise the Eagle God. We equip each of our colonists with the important weapons, and we set out a stockpile zone in our humble home. Our pemmican may look like fecal matter, but do not be fooled. It is not fecal matter. We do not stoop to the level to eat feces. However, we may need to eat our animals if we starve the first few days. Since it's important to maintain cold, we'll use some of our only wood on a passive cooler for indoors. And the map is inhabited by only 3 iguanas for hunting. We will eat them. This one's going first. Jeek is slaying the iguana. The iguana is dead. Only 9 years of age, and that's it. Life is cruel in the desert. Since the desert contains a lot of sandstone, we're going to get started right away on stone cutting. Sandstone is a great material because it's highly workable. It's also very weak and easy to chip, but you can't have everything. Since our animals will only eat the food, I'm afraid we'll need to slaughter them. Goodbye, Leonid. Farewell. Goodbye, Emma. Goodbye, Levi. You were good pets. May you be welcomed into the afterlife. With the steel mined out by Ibrahim, we're capable of making a butchering table. This will now feed our bellies for much longer. Huzzah! It is complete. Our wood passive cooler keeps the indoor temperature at 63 degrees as compared with 74 outside. This is completely good. Early in the day, we start working more on our rice farm. We're going to need to snake it along the outside here. There's not much soil out in the desert, and it's almost completely barren. We slaughter our animals for food, and we build a set of tables and chairs so that we can double over between our research and our dining. We'll need to eat raw food for a few days, but I think we're pretty well set for now. The research table is complete, and we set off Jeek to researching complex clothing immediately. He has a minor passion for research, and he's our best suited colonist to this task. It will take him several days, but by that time we'll have complex clothing and enough leather to make cowboy hats and dusters for everyone. These cowboy hats and dusters will keep our colonists cool in the heat. We'll also conserve the last of the pemmican by telling our colonists to eat only raw food for now, even if it makes them sick temporarily. Food, water, and shelter. According to science, these are our 3 main needs. In the case of Rimworld, we don't need to think about water, but food we've got pretty much covered now. Shelter, we could expand its definition to include clothing, safe clothing to wear. Water doesn't exist in this game, but I suppose that we could replace that with defense, because in real life there are just people coming after you to fight you. For most of us. A visitor. It's time to trade, and we'll take whatever pemmican we can get. That's enough for now. We need to conserve space, so we move all of our steel and materials that don't degrade when they're outside to the outdoors on a new patch of land. And we hunt the last of the iguanas. Lastly, we set up our first potato plant growing zone. Potatoes are one of the best growing crops in poor soil, so it's useful for us. Ibrahim throws a tantrum because he had food poisoning. We just need to eat this bad food, otherwise we'll starve. But we'll need to make sure that he doesn't destroy anything. Only a wall, and then it's a column, and another wall, and he's come out of it without having destroyed anything. Only 4 days in. Fortunately, we haven't picked up any heat waves. Research on clothing is going along well enough, but food shortage is certainly going to be a problem. We need our crops to grow more and faster. Currently, we're also sleeping in a pile of our own vomit, but many new crops are ready to grow, and all of the last oddly misshapen patches of soil can be used for potatoes, a better crop. We plant down a single hoopstone ring for our colonists to have fun at. They do need some sort of recreation or they'll start to go crazy faster. By the middle of the 4th day, the outdoor temperature has risen above 100 degrees. Indoors, it's still safe at 72, but there's also no sign of any wildlife that could potentially inhabit this land. We're now down to only the pemmican, and since I want to save it for an emergency, we're going to actually allow our colonists to become malnourished. There's one event that's guaranteed to trigger anytime our colonists are all downed. Right now, Cayman will just go into a daze. We call our colony The Incident. We distract ourselves with some construction projects while we slowly fend off the coming, starvation. It's really just a matter of managing malnutrition from this point. I think we'll barely get to the rice harvest, and then after that, it'll just be a matter of juggling the little food we have left. Fortunately, Senra has planted many crops, and yes, Senra, keep doing that. Everyone likes that. And we get a flu as well. Unfortunately, one of them is on Jeek, our researcher. The other one's on Cayman, but this is probably not going to be that debilitating. We'll be fine. Ibrahim is a passionate doctor. He's not a good doctor, but he is passionate. Unfortunately, we do need to postpone our creation of leathers for a dog leather bedroll so that Cayman and Jeek might hopefully not die from this. They could just share a bed. Not really much else to say here. That's the gist of it. And she got good quality. It looks like they'll have a decent shot at pulling through as long as we get a few good 10s here. In the meantime, they'll be allowed to eat so that they don't die. Yep, just eat the food. Don't die. Please don't die, because we're now out of food. Jeek needs another tending, now taking the dog leather bed from Cayman. Cayman selflessly gives up the dog leather bed so that Jeek, the leader of the expedition, can recover. And huzzah! A 12% 10 quality. It's doable. You'll get better soon, Ibrahim. This is getting kind of dicey. We're going to remove the roof here so that he has more light to work in. Okay, Ibrahim, how are we going to do with this one? 25%. She'll live. Okay, Cayman's gonna survive. Jeek, on the other hand, I am worried about, but I think he'll barely pull through. This has happened before. Ibrahim hunts down an iguana. Only one has come to our land in this time. And we have slain the iguana. We will use this meat to feed to Jeek, and Jeek may live longer. Come on, Jeek. Pull through, man. One more tend. 43% he will survive, as will Cayman. She is recovering well. This one was a real nail-biter. Food. Glorious food. It couldn't be better timed either because everyone is starving and about to die. And despite her flu, Cayman's actually going to have to be the one to harvest it. She'll pull through, but she won't be very well off in the end. Okay, now we have to feed the others. Good. Jeek, despite his decaying health, may actually live, and this rice will help him not snap. Okay, it's not much, but it is a living. And it looks like the potatoes are almost there too. They'll have better yield. No, Jeek. Jeek. No, Jeek, don't get out of bed. Oh, why? Get back in the dog leather. Well, one good tend on Jeek may save his life. Oh, why? Well, Senra's back at it, and this looks like our master planter will take the reins from here. Good, it may not be a copious amount of rice, but it'll keep us alive for now. You may have food poisoning, but your malnutrition is going away. And it looks like Ibrahim will have one more chance on Jeek. Alright, that might be enough. Very good. Cayman will definitely pull through. A bountiful harvest of rice. Cargo pods have fallen from the sky and they contain corn. Glorious corn. Oh god, if only we had had that a few days ago, we wouldn't have been all starving by now. Regardless, it's still useful. The eagle god has saved us again. And a heat wave has passed. Well, there goes everything. Only one thing we can do now. I'm actually going to borrow a strategy from the Arctic to insulate us. Unfortunately, we can't build over this soft sand, but we'll just have to use it because this is where we've set up. We can create 2 rooms abutting this first one in insulation to our main room, and just keep this one cool. Cayman has developed an immunity. The heat outside is unbearable. The psychic drone is ending, and this is the closest one I've ever seen. 99% and 99% he's developed an immunity. The indoor temperature is just barely safe enough that they're safe from the heat wave, and we'll set off Ibrahim to insulating us more because it looks like Cayman just lost her mind from the heat. Who can blame her? One heat locker is finished. Now our colonists do have about 20 degrees worth of insulation from the heat, but that's not saying much. It's 130 degrees outside. They will start to get heat stroke soon. With the heat stroke setting in and food poisoning, we complete the second airlock. And now roof it off. Okay, we're all sealed in now. We build a second passive cooler because we are just running out of options. But that's enough to insulate us from about 35 degrees worth of temperature inside. 125 outside, and 86 inside. Well, we survived a flu, a psychic drone, malnutrition, and a heat wave, all at once. All thanks to some quick thinking and good insulation. And some dromedaries have joined. Okay, this is actually fantastic. Male and female. These will provide us with milk and more dromedaries. What an amazing boon of luck. Smashing. Now, they aren't my favorite animal, but their milk fullness should make them more cost-effective. In fact, if these dromedaries should be sufficiently reproductive, I could repurpose them for clothing. However, the male dromedary is 37 and the female is 6, so we need to get them going at creating another male because he might die. I don't know the life expectancy of dromedaries, and I don't imagine it's that long. And as a testament to temperature regulation, we have 127 outside, 107 on our inner room, and then 64 on our innermost room. So this means that we've actually done a great job at keeping this place cool. We've created a small area and we'll invert it to tell the dromedaries to just stay out of the main house. Go, dromedaries, go. It's time to get started on a new grow zone. We're gonna need cotton if we want to stay cool forever in this place. So we'll start growing some of that. Not a lot, just some. We can also clear out our main room and create more specialized stockpile zones. I just like the look of these. They show me where things are at a glance. The rice is collected, and our first mission is complete. We are alive. Our dromedaries are mating. There will be another generation of them. Unfortunately, Senra and Jeek, who were married, were divorced now, so Senra is gonna be in a pretty foul mood for a while. It'll take a while to build back up these relationships, but there's no other urgent factors in line right now, so this is safe. Now is the time for great art. We must create sculptures. Sparrowgeist is an excellent carver. We will begin with sandstone, a highly workable material. Glad noises. Dromedary 1's milk is full, and this gives us the first of our animal products. It's worth it even if they eat some of the crops, because these animals are irreplaceable here in the desert. And there is the 12 milk. I think they're highly inefficient, but they're rare animals, so we'll keep them. Ooh, a rare sighting, a Seguro cactus having grown in the desert. Perhaps the only plant life around here. And a psychic soothe on females. A manhunter packed 3 of them, and this will be our ultimate test. We arm for war at once. There come the invaders. We will engage them from behind some rocks. And a transport pod crash at the simultaneous transport pod crash. Okay, Edward. Very beautiful hair. I don't like him, but they might like our faction if we save him, so we'll take him in. Okay, good luck, my colonists. Good luck. May the odds be in your favor. Here come the beasts. Okay, good, one is down. The others have just gone seemingly for the wall. Okay, Sparrowgeist, you get out in the front. You're a good fighter. And they're good. Who are they going for? I guess they're going for Senra over there. Let's take out this last one. We've got one more invader. Here it is. And good. Oh, Frabjuste. Kalukale. We are saved. And we have some urns. They're going to tidy up this room and make it actually beautiful. Now it's slightly impressive. Good. A slightly impressive barrack. Edward is saved and not dead. And at long last, Sparrowgeist completes her first sculpture. What appears to be a series of interlocking circles. Good quality. Alright, it's a depiction of a gazelle wearing an evening gown. Has neoclassical feeling in a rectangular structure. Bordered by a group of eggplants, who knows? More like belongs in the trash. That keeps our room solidly yet somewhat impressive. And we have the makings of a new romance. Sparrowgeist has tried to romance Jeek by describing him as a shining wing. Unfortunately, he didn't respond. He was too wrapped in research. Though they do like one another. Maybe he will go for an older woman. We're going to finish off our colony by building what I like to think of as sort of a cocoon around our main room. If all else fails, we'll at least have this for temperature regulation. After all, that's one of the main needs, and that's what held up in the Arctic. Lastly, we have enough to make one lizard skin cowboy hat in case of some sort of temperature disaster. It's worth it at least to get started with the crafting, so we'll begin here. Alright. an excellent large sculpture, 5 adjacent rooms, and we've even finished work on stone cutting research. Now we can get started here. This is fantastic news. Well, we survived the desert heat, a flu, we survived a heat wave, basically every single bad event that could come at us at once, and survived only by the skin of our nose. It feels good. It feels good being the best. And we did it all independently, too. No help required. I think we'll call it there. We've now made it to the 2nd of Jugust, having passed the first month, 1 season, and we've made a lot of progress. And I'm completely happy with that. I think we'll end it there. Thanks to viewers like you, and thanks to my patrons. They are the dromedary milk from which I sup, and I can't thank them enough. As always, I'm Ambiguous Amphibian. Have a good day now. Goodbye.